This video is about how I was a very lonely person at the beginning of this year and how I transformed into an indie filmmaker and as a result made a lot of friends. At the beginning of the year, I was 30 years old. I had just moved to a new state, a completely new town with zero family and friends. I was in the middle of burnout and a huge career change, and in general, I felt really lost and purposeless. There's no roadmap for when you reset your life like this. As an extremely introverted person, I never really developed the social skills necessary to put in the work and make friends with people. I think most people rely on school and work to make friends. In my 20s, I put all my eggs in the basket of career, and part of me wondered if this is just how life is supposed to be when you're an adult. Are we supposed to slowly lose friends in your life until you just have none, other than maybe your spouse, if you're so lucky? And I think this is really hard for a lot of people to admit, but I think being lonely can result in a kind of depression. I felt an overall sense of apathy and just like nothing really matters, everything's the same, and I hate everything. But I didn't want to give up and just accept that this is how things are going to be for the rest of my life, so I decided to enroll in a college course in filmmaking. It wasn't really to learn anything, I just wanted to make friends with other people who are interested in the same things I was. But I discovered I really love making films and I'm pretty good at it. And for the first time ever, I actually had people to make films with. Normally, it's literally just me. Sometimes it's Vincent as well. So I thought, why not write something and get everyone together so that we can collaborate on something really cool. Something you might not know about Vincent and I are that we are creative partners. We've always been since the beginning of our relationship. A lot of people ask us what it's like to have a partner in writing. Our process looks like this.
You should be Sarah. But then like...
It's because you're a man.
You're doing this Netflix and fuck you. I'm about
busy.
to blow up. I'm busy.
I
got shit. Yeah, you know. Tell that bitch ass kid. Squid Game USA or some shit. It has that much like B tier prestige.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But like it's something.
Vincent is the ideas man. He's really good at coming up with thousands of ideas constantly. I'm better at editing those ideas out and picking the ones that we should stick with. So he'll usually shoot me an idea, I'll start typing it out, and if one person gets stuck, the other person usually continues on because they're not. We can get really passionate. We're usually laughing a lot during the process and talking very, very loudly. Once we're done with our script, we start casting pretty much immediately. What I quickly learned is that casting is really difficult if you don't have any friends. But as we started getting the respect and trust of other people in town, it became this thing where we start writing roles for people that we know. I always used to look at filmmaking as a sort of job, where like you cast something, you invite a bunch of strangers to audition for your script, you make a good piece of art, and you put it out there in the world. What we've learned is we'd rather actually just write roles for our friends or friends of friends in our projects, and it just feels like a big party all the time. We've met so many people by doing that, and we've brought so many of our friends that don't previously know each other together and created a kind of larger friend group. Vincent and I also location scout, which it kind of looks ridiculous.
Oh my gosh, I think I see something. Come on, everyone. It's a bag. What's in this bag? Shuffle, 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 shuffle. A cassette tape. I mean, a VHS tape. What's in the VHS tape? Make a sound, make a sound. Whoa! What's that noise? Oh my gosh, I'm so scared. Run away. And then like...
Tiffany comes out from somewhere.
Over here.
Even though it looks like we're goofing off, this is actually a very important part of the process. I guess this is just what it looks like when we take things seriously. And then finally, we start principal photography. Scene 12, shot 1, take 2. Action!
Done!
This is the most exciting part for everybody. As someone who grew up in LA, I never really thought much about film sets. I just thought this is a commercial or a film shoot that's happening in my backyard. At the most, it seems like really important work that they're being paid to do. At the least, it seemed like an inconvenience to me because it usually means an uptick in traffic. But when you're actually part of a set, there's this bonding thing that happens that I think is really special.
Scene 13, shot 2, take 1, mark.
Allison! Allison!
Julia!
Julia, wait! Everyone becomes more comfortable and much better friends with each other by the end of the shoot. So what I like the most about it is everyone's talents are being utilized and appreciated. That way when we get a really good take, everyone gets really excited and pumped for the rest of the shoot. This whole process is so fun that when things are starting to wrap up, everyone feels a little melancholy, a little bit sad, but that's why we always try to start the next project pretty much immediately after a shoot wraps. Before I started making indie films, I was so introverted and so awkward because I was just dealing with a lot of baggage that I didn't realize didn't really matter at the end of the day. But the problem was I just didn't know how to get past it when you're stuck in it for so long. Filmmaking gave me a reason to go out and make friends. Kind of gave me purpose again in life. And because I put myself in a lot of different social situations, I'm a lot happier and resilient to anything that might happen to me. Back when I was a full-time artist, that was very fun for a while, particularly because I was a very ambitious person. That was a huge challenge for me to figure out how to make money with my art, how to break into Hollywood and become a respectable artist, but that ends up being very, very lonely after a while. Growing as an artist is by its very nature a very solitary thing. Even if you have sketch groups or you go drinking and drawing with people, most of the time you're just drinking and drawing in silence while you're sitting next to other people. With filmmaking, it's the exact opposite. It has to be very collaborative unless you want to be something like a YouTuber. But even then, it helps you to have friends and people to do this with. Back then, I didn't feel like I made much of a difference in other people's lives. I went into animation with the intention of creating stories that genuinely affected other people, the way I was affected as a kid. Most of the time though, it ended up just being me trying to placate my bosses and the studios and just be a little cog in the machine. I didn't really feel like I meant anything. I felt like if I disappeared tomorrow, no one would really care or notice. What gave me some semblance of purpose was selling my art online. It was going to conventions and meeting actual fans of my work. But even then, that doesn't happen very often. I can't go to cons all the time. Whereas now, when I'm collaborating on a film set, it really does feel like I'm making a legitimate difference in other people's lives. Now that I've come out of my shell a little bit, we now try our best to bring other lonely people together and into our little filmmaking community. So one of my goals for next year is to meet everyone in this town. I went from a person who wanted nothing to do with anybody to someone who wants to meet everyone for the sole purpose of creating a passionate community of filmmakers that love working on things together. When I look back on this year, I'm so happy to have met some of the writers and actors and filmmakers that I'm so proud to know now. I never used to have writer friends to chat about our scripts together. Now I know quite a few and we can get together and just share what we're currently working on. For a really long time, I really thought that I would only ever be able to film myself. Maybe Vincent, if he has time. I never really thought any actor would give us the time of day, and yet I've been so fortunate to meet and work with so many talented actors who are also very humble human beings. I also never thought I had any knowledge worth sharing for other filmmakers. It warms my heart that I've been able to share and help other filmmakers grow, and they've helped me grow immensely as a person too. I never really intended to, but it really does feel like we're creating a pretty cool community here. Here are the things to be excited for and to look forward to in the upcoming year. We're going to be traveling a lot, mostly because of film festivals. We're going to bring you along with us to when we go to different states. You're going to be there when we screen our films to a live audience and throw a huge party. We're going to be showing you a lot more in-depth behind-the-scenes footage of shooting our movies. You get to be part of our indie filmmaking community and be one of the first people to see our successes. Like, subscribe to help this channel out, and we'll see you next year.